What's up, everybody? Plant Man here again. Just wanted to follow up on last week's stuff. One of you wrote about wondering how our transition went. Wanted to speak to that for a quick moment. Like I said in the last video, my wife sort of willed it into being with the book on the one hand, and the other thing that really kind of moved me personally towards it was the act of sun gazing, which many of you in the raw food community have probably heard of. This channel is going to be kind of more geared towards people who have already decided, you know, they want raw and are seeking it. So I'm not going to really try and convince anybody about the aspects of the benefits of eating raw besides the little tidbits we've found. So I'll leave that to more knowledgeable, eloquent speakers like Daniel Vitalis and David Wolf. I highly suggest just about anything by those guys. They've got a ton of information in their heads to share that's really positive and beneficial. Anyway, enough on that. So sun gazing was a big thing for me. I've always been kind of a spiritual seeker. Buddhism has called to me from an early age. I grew up Catholic or Christian or some kind of amalgamation of the two, and moved to Buddhism naturally, just the non-dogmatism and stuff, and the just pure trusting in oneself and relieving doubt from your mind. And so sun gazing came to me. It's an ancient tradition, thousands of years old, from this continent and others as well. I think originally in India is like the first earliest known. I'm not really sure about all that. You can do your own research. That's another thing I want to highly emphasize, is that you all take personal responsibility for your health and that you research information for yourself. So anyway, sun gazing is you look at the sun straight on in the first hour or last hour of the day when the sun rays are attenuated, and that way it doesn't burn your eyes, it doesn't mess you up, and you get full spectrum light, which everybody needs. The rods and cones in your eyes help you process stress chemicals and stuff like that. And I found that sun gazing was very much like meditating, and while I was doing it, my belly would, you know, gurgle and stuff like that, and I found that it really improved my digestion. And I started getting into the raw food. We bought a Vitamix, and I would do a smoothie, you know, in the morning for breakfast, and then have whatever else all day long. And eventually I added, you know, maybe a salad for my lunch, and kept eating, you know, here and there, meat and whatever. Thanksgiving dinner, that was actually my last cooked meal, was Thanksgiving dinner with my father. And you know, that was kind of precious, you know, end point for me for that. And from there, it took me about a year, but between the sun gazing, which also took about a year, and the rough transitioning, I just grabbed hold on it. I also had a lot of time off in the winter, being a landscaper, to just research raw food, research recipes, make recipes, and, you know, experiment. So that was a great little gift as far as the timing on that. So I don't really want to talk too much, because I want to bring you like a double, triple video today. We're going to do a couple kinds of nuts, soaked, sprouted, and dehydrated, and we're going to do a little thing on brassicas in a minute inside. I'll tell you some information about that. So, alright. Hey there, welcome into the kitchen again. Okay, we're going to do our little nuts episode and brassicas episode. Here's the nuts. The information on the nuts is that soaking and sprouting your nuts increases vitamin A, vitamin B, and vitamin C content by a lot. It neutralizes phytic acid and enzyme inhibitors. So the phytic acid blocks your body's ability to uptake certain minerals, iron, I think magnesium, and calcium. So that's a big reason to sprout your nuts. Also, the enzyme inhibitors make it so you can't digest other foods as well as the nuts themselves when you ingest them. So The other thing is it inactivates the aflatoxins, which are carcinogenic toxins in all grains and seeds. So it's important to sprout the nuts. I know they look like funky, bubbly, like, ooh, what's that? It's good stuff. And I mentioned before about how you can tell if it's sprouted, like these cashews. He's got a little tail popping out. So good to kind of look for those. Some nuts won't do it, like your walnuts and things. But that's that. We're gonna make you cashew milk. What do we got here? We got candied walnuts, and we got sweet and spicy pumpkin seeds. So right on. So here we got, now we have a cup of sprouted and cashews that I just rinsed in my metal colander. Try to avoid plastics wherever possible. And we got 4 cups here of our filtered, or our well water. And you can use filtered water or spring water, best water you can get your hands on. And then we just blend it up for about 2 minutes. Okay, so we blended up our cashew milk. We like cashew milk a lot because it's real creamy, and also it's one of the nut milks that you can make that you don't even have to strain. You just blend it up and pour it in, and that's it. I wanted to say a quick word too about the soaking time on nuts. You have different nuts have different soaking time. So like your cashews and your pine nuts and your macadamia nuts, you only need to soak 1 or 2 hours. So and then you have your medium soaked nuts that only take 2 to 4 hours, like your Brazil nuts, your pecans, your walnuts, stuff like that. And then you have your harder nuts like your almonds, pistachios, and the like, and they need 8 hours or more. I personally just soak my nuts overnight. I'll just put them in the afternoon, and then I'll soak them overnight and make my recipe the next morning. So that's what you can do as you like. So yeah. Now we've rinsed thoroughly our nuts and strained them, and added our ingredients. These are the sweet and spicy nuts. These are the candied walnuts. And I will give you an ingredients list at the end of the video. Okay, so our final step here is just to dehydrate our seeds for it's usually like 10 or 20 hours, just until they're crispy. Jules is our helper here again. Jules is running about 50% raw, and all the boys were trying to get him to do at least 50% raw. Jonah is the most resistant, but Jeremy and Jules are very excited. But even still, it's important to us, and but it's also important to us that they kind of eat what they want and have their own, minds. So yeah, that's that. We're gonna spread out these nuts and dehydrate them. Also, just wanted to quick come over here for a second. I thought I'd show off our wild edibles that we wild crafted this week. Boys and the wife went up to the pond to go swim, gathered a bunch of fresh mint, and we just keep them in these old salad buckets because it keeps the stuff real nice. And we got some purslane. It's also known as verdolagas around here. And we also got quilites, or lamb's quarter, that I just pulled out of the garden. And some plums from Job Site, from a purple leaf plum that are really yummy. We're going to try and make some prunes. So.
Give me the rainforest veggie.